I remember driving down the road with everything I owned packed into my car, my dog in the back seat. My mom was sitting next to me, just chatting happily. And as I was driving, it just all of a sudden hit me. I wasn't scared at all about rebuilding my business. I was leaving a business that I had built 27 years in the building, but I wasn't scared at all about rebuilding my business. And honestly, that really surprised me because before I was on that road heading to Phoenix, Arizona, I had lost so much that had brought me to that moment. That was the emotionally hard part. Leaving behind relationships, memories, familiarity, the life I had built. But rebuilding my clientele, I wasn't afraid of that at all. In fact, I was actually excited for the fresh start. And in today's episode, I want to share why. Because rebuilding my business behind the chair multiple times taught me something that completely changed the way I view this industry. Hey, before we jump into today's episode, I want to share something with you. I have created a workshop designed for hairstylists who are just starting out, or maybe you're rebuilding from scratch, or maybe you've just opened your own salon suite and you are feeling the stress of wondering how to get clients in your chair, and you're wondering, how do I build this business? Because maybe you're feeling like you're just working so hard, but you feel like you're just not getting ahead. I get you. And I want to invite you to my free workshop called From Empty Chair to Fully Booked Chair. Inside the workshop, I walk you through the exact systems and foundations that I put in place a long time ago and use every single time I've had to rebuild my chair from scratch. And I want to share that with you. So if that's something that interests you, head on over to my website at onpointhairbySherry, SHERRI.com/ From Empty Chair to Fully Booked Chair, and get signed up for the workshop today. All right, let's get into today's episode. Are you a hairstylist who feels overwhelmed, stuck, lacking confidence behind the chair, or simply wondering how you're actually going to build the career you've been dreaming of as a hairstylist? Then welcome to Cutting Through It. My name is Sherry Brody, and after having to rebuild my business numerous times and learning lessons the hard way, I created this podcast to help hairstylists just like you feel more confident behind the chair and build a career you truly enjoy. Each week, I'm going to share real stories, practical advice, and the business tips beauty school didn't teach you. From how to connect with clients and build that loyal clientele to handling the real life stuff hairstylists deal with every single day behind the chair. There's no fluff here. Just honest conversations from someone who's been through it too. So if you're ready, let's start cutting through it together. When I talk about that day I was riding in the car, driving it, headed to Phoenix, with my best friend in the back seat and my mom, who's my big support next to me, it does bring sadness to me, because what brought me to that point was probably the toughest season in my life that I ever had to conquer. And that was probably the most hardest part of the whole thing. But the easiest part was rebuilding my business. And I wanted to share with you how I rebuilt my business and why I didn't have any concerns or worry about it. Because in your journey as a hairstylist, you are going to go through life changes. You're going to go through times where it's not going to be easy. And if you are like me and you have built a strong business model to support you as a hairstylist behind the chair, then the one thing you won't have to worry about is your income. I know as a hairstylist, that's one of the biggest things that we do worry about. Like, oh my gosh, if I move, I have to start from ground zero again. And yes, you do. If you have to move or relocate, yes, you most definitely do need to rebuild. But what I'm here to tell you, and when I tell you this wasn't the first time that I had to rebuild my business as a hairstylist. This was my fourth time. This was my biggest move yet, though, because of the emotional baggage that I had brought with me that I had to really work through. I share this with you because it's true. If you can learn how to build a strong business foundation for you as a hairstylist, then you're not going to have to worry about it when you restart, because you're going to be able to put a plan in action and you're going to know how to rebuild it and rebuild your clientele quickly. What was different about me starting over is that I wasn't just starting over from scratch. I was rebuilding from experience. And that's what I want to walk you through today in this episode, is the things that I did, that I put in place prior to even moving there, and the systems that I had in place when I did get there to start building that clientele and building it quickly. I can tell you that within a year of moving to Phoenix, I did have enough clientele in my chair to sustain me. And within 2 years, I was able to hit my goal of just working 3 days a week. So the first thing that I did was I planned ahead financially. I made sure that when I knew I was going to move, I planned it about a year in advance. Sometimes you may not have a year in advance. So I encourage you financially to always have a savings account for your business for like times like that are emergencies. But I planned ahead financially. I knew from my experience working behind the chair what it would take every month to just help me keep myself afloat until I built my business. I made sure that I had a plan to come back to the Bay Area. I was in San Francisco Bay Area. I made a plan with a stylist, actually, that has become extremely successful. I'm so proud of her. She had a hair salon there, and she kept a chair. She would make sure a chair was open for me every 5 weeks. So I was booked out through the entire year. I had clients book out that year so that I would work 5 days. I would fly into Phoenix. I stayed with a friend, and I would work 5 days. And that money that I made there in the Bay Area, actually, that money there really paid all of my overhead. But I wasn't worried because I had planned for it financially ahead. I also, knowing that I was going to be moving to the Phoenix area, I took the time to really scope out the area, and I took some time to really write down what I was looking for in a salon to work in at this stage of the game. It's going to be different for everybody, depending on where you're at in your life. But for my life, I wanted to be in a place where I knew I wanted to be in a salon that had a good reputation. So I made sure that I would check when I found a location I liked. I made sure I checked to see what kind of reputation they had. I knew what area I wanted to work in, and I knew what kind of clients I wanted to work on. So I did some investigation work prior. I would go and check out, and I flew out a few times to kind of check out the area before I decided. And eventually I decided on a salon that would work for me. And by doing that and planning ahead of moving out there, I had a plan in place. I wasn't just working on, oh gosh, I hope this works out. I was working on a plan that I had built already on rebuilding. Now, once I got into, Phoenix and got started, I had to put some systems in place immediately. And the first one was I had to become visible. I had to create visibility so that people could find me. So I immediately, of course, went to social media and created a new accounts and really set up the social media so that I knew what kind of content I needed to post about to attract the type of clients that I wanted to attract. I knew what I needed to post in my bio also to attract that type of client. And what I did on mine was I did a lot of educational type posting to kind of help bring those clients into my chair. It just immediately established me as an authority to them. The next thing that I did was I put a booking system in place. I have an online booking app. I made sure I linked it in my social media. I also created a website that linked to my social media as well. And I had the booking app link there, and it clearly explaining that they could reach me through this booking app. And, that just set me apart. Number one, having a website just set me apart as being more professional. And my clients told me that. I don't just tell you that because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because the clients did share that with me. But also having a booking system in place, it makes you easily accessible. If they have to spend a lot of time going back and forth with phone calls or text messages, explaining things, then a lot of times you're going to lose them. But if you can make it accessible for them to come in for a consultation, or even doing a Zoom call with you or a FaceTime call with you to do that consultation if you're unsure about the amount of time, like I would always recommend that. I would actually require that if somebody was booking for a color correction or a big chemical service that I hadn't met before. This is something that is really vital for you if you are rebuilding, having a booking system in place. The next thing that I put in place was a networking system. And what this means is I did what I needed to do. I sacrificed my time, and I made sure that I met these people that I wanted in my chair. I met them in person. Networking in person, I don't care how much social media becomes, bigger and bigger. There's nothing like in-person people meeting you and building those relationships locally and getting them to know you on a personal level is vital. So getting into having a system for networking is important. And when I talk about networking, it's really learning how to speak about your business that, makes people want to come in and see you. The next system that I put in place was a retention system. When I talk about the client journey, like in my last episode, if you haven't listened to it, I'd recommend you listening to it. But you want to be able to have this is the part that creates your retention system. And what I mean by that is you want to be able to not only get those clients in your chair, but when you get them in your chair, you want to ensure that they're going to come back, that they're going to rebook with you, that they are going to send you referrals, that they are going to write 5-star reviews about you. And the only way that you're going to be able to get them to do that is to have a really good retention system in place. And that goes with your consultations and also follow-up. So honestly, guys, I wasn't just trying to get clients in my chair. I was building a system to keep them in my chair. And I'm going to be honest with you, yes, it takes time and it takes sacrifice of your time. It takes patience. It takes you stepping out of your comfort zone, because I know for a lot of you, and I know for myself as well, it can be very uncomfortable approaching people and talking about your business. So you got to protect your emotional energy as well. So making sure that I took care of myself as well. I had days that I just set aside that I didn't work on my business. And I think in the beginning, it was just one day that I had a week, but I made sure that I just focused that on myself, because when you're in that building phase and you really want to build it quickly, it does take a lot of emotional energy as well. So, and it takes consistency. You can't just give up. Some weeks are going to be better than others, and you can't let that overcome you and discourage you. You just have to stay consistent and keep building. And I knew rebuilding my clientele when I was telling you that I wasn't nervous. I mean, I wasn't, because I knew how to build my business. I was realistic on the time it would take and what I was going to have to do to build that clientele. I knew rebuilding wasn't going to happen overnight. And, I was willing to do the work to create that clientele and that business all over again. And like I said, within 1 year, I rebuilt enough where I really didn't need to go back to the Bay Area to work. I just did it because I really liked those clients. I liked going back to my hometown, and I think it really helped me transition more to my move here to Arizona. After a year after that, I chose to stop because I was emotionally ready. I was ready to just leave it all behind and just work. And by that point, it had been two and a half years, and I hit my goal where I just wanted to work 3 days a week and making the income that I was looking for. My experience is exactly why I created this new workshop called From Empty Chair to Fully Booked. Because after rebuilding my business multiple times, I realized that most hairstylists were never taught the systems that can create loyal clients, retention, consistency, and long-term financial freedom working behind the chair as a hairstylist. Inside this workshop, I'm going to walk you through the exact systems and business foundations that helped me rebuild my business over and over again. I'm going to teach you how to attract clients, how to create retention with those clients, how to build a business that is stable and not stressful. Because honestly, my goal for you, it's not just to get clients in your chair. I want to help you build a business that supports your dreams and the lifestyle that you're desiring. So if this is something that you're interested in, head on over to my website, onpointhairbysherry.com/from empty chair to fully booked and save your seat today. If you're rebuilding right now or you're feeling discouraged, I want you to know something. You are capable of building your business all over again, especially when you stop relying on the hustle and you start building from systems and experience. Because remember, you're not just building your clientele, you're building a business and a life behind the chair. I'll see you in the next episode. I hope this episode encouraged you today and reminded you that you're not alone behind the chair. And if it helped you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with another hairstylist who may need encouragement too. And remember, success behind the chair is built one client, one conversation, and one day at a time. I'll see you guys in the next episode.